Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at, well, basically, to cut a long story short, the super class Extremes Borrowed. So I have done a lot of no item runs. I don't know how many in total, but a lot. But I haven't done everything no item. And I did a bit of ESBR, but you know what, I've come back. I'm going to finish every single one of the ESBR and just catch up there, finish every single, Goku challenge for the LGE, the Fighting Legend Vegeta, just really basically like do as many no item run challenges as I can and catch up everything. I've got a lot of the red zones and the blue zones and that pretty much done to a certain extent. I will be honest, I have like the majority of those done. I think if I look at my no item runs, I've been pretty good at keeping those relatively up to date. Like I know on the red zones I've got 28 of them, which isn't every single stage, but it's pretty much most of them, in fact, and most of the important ones, definitely. On the blue zones I'm up to 8 or 10 now. I think I've got like another 4 or 5 that I've done already. Just I know no item runs on for everyone. I personally don't really vibe with them like a lot. I don't have a huge desire to do no item runs. But I mean, when I say that, I mean they're a lot of fun, but ultimately it just comes down to either waiting long enough for the stage to become easy, or just having a lot of units that are good. So I think, like, personally, there's not a huge amount of challenge to it, because a lot of people that do no item runs just have all the units at max level, so it's not really anything crazy. But 110 stages done no item. I'd like by the end of the year 2025 to basically have everything done no item. All the major events, that includes things like the Gogeta Janemba stages, which I'll probably go do relatively soon as well, to just keep it all above board. But so basically super class, look, this is a very old ESBR, so no item running this is not the most insane. The big challenge here is that there's 3 stages where you're facing multiple enemies, and then 1 stage where you face a singular enemy. And how Super Battle Road and ESBR works is you have, functionally speaking, a set health pool. And when you face 5 enemies, for example, they each can do a lot of damage, of course, but they're also each individually slightly weaker than a singular enemy and have less health than a singular enemy. So what that means is that, like, for example, against multiple enemies, AoE attacks tend to be very, very beneficial because of that fact. Like, hey, I am able to take out multiple enemies at once, potentially, or do a lot of damage to multiple enemies at once. Whereas when you're facing ESBR and SBR that are more 1 or 2 enemies, you generally want to focus a lot more on single target damage. The debuffing and kind of control mechanisms work the same. Against multiple enemies, it's a lot better to bring things like AoE attack and defense down, AoE stunning from like passives and stuff like that, like Jiren, etc. Because by debuffing all of them and by AoE stunning them, you tend to have a easier time. Even if it is only for 1 turn, like Jiren, because you're stunning all of them, it helps a lot. Whereas, like, in singular target fights, like if you're fighting 1 enemy or 2 enemies, generally it's better to have, firstly, sealing. It's always helpful, but it's especially really good in those situations. Higher single target damage dealing units, and units that tend to stun, obviously on their supers and that, because there you're looking for multiple turn control, because you're worried about that unit breaking out of the control and then being able to cause big damage to you. Because of the age of superclass ESBR, really we're not too phased by anything. Decided to bring like an adapted Majin Buu Saga Power Beyond Super Saiyan team, just for the fun of it, because we recently got a couple easy A's there that I think are really fun to use, and I'm picking this up after a while, so I just wanted to do something where it was a lot of fun to try out the units that have just gotten easier, more so than anything specifically focused on how hard the stage is or anything like that. Yeah, so I think functionally what I will say is it is a ton of fun to always take on these events in their own way. I think this team very obviously is overpowered for this event, but it does its job mainly through AoE damage. But hey, it's one of those things. We'll be kicking off a big run of no item runs pretty much all the way through the rest of the next year. Probably going to have one a day, even if not two a day. We'll see. But yeah, just really want to kind of do all of them, get them done. Yeah, it is what it is. Want some of the older stuff done. So yeah, bye.